Hello and welcome back to Practice Insider's Edge. My name is Dr. Derek Barron.
Hi, and I'm Terri Barron.
Today we want to talk to you about creating momentum moving into 2021. We know there's a lot of stuff that people have been going through in this world today. We just got past the Thanksgiving holiday weekend, so we're hoping you had a great time with family and friends. You kept safe during that time, but we want to help you make sure you are planning ahead into January of 2021 because some things can happen. So what are some things that sometimes people are cramming in at the end of 2020 here in December of the hustle and bustle?
Right. We want to acknowledge, we know our private practice business owners right now during the holidays, Thanksgiving through the end of the year. We know this feels like a crunch time for you already, that there's a lot of hustle and bustle that you've got to deal with, and you feel like you have momentum going with your practice. However, why are private practice business owners busy, and why is there hustle and bustle right now?
Yeah, we know people have typically met their deductible, so they're trying to cram every medical procedure in, and that's whether you're getting physical therapy or chiropractic care, you're getting for podiatrist clients, you're getting they're coming in for toenail issues. As odd as that may sound, everybody's trying to get in. So you feel as though there's momentum at the end of the year, and I don't want to say there isn't, but what happens on January 2nd? When people return to the real world and the real world says, okay, I need to go in for my back, my neck, my knee, post-surgical. I don't have money. I have to meet my deductible. How do we get around that?
Right. Even our cash-based practice private owners, right? We know that you're in a hustle and bustle right now at the end of the year. Some of you have packages. And again, your patients are trying to take advantage of everything they can. And so your schedules look really busy at the end of the year. But a lot of you are going to meet that situation come January 2nd, as well as insurance-based practices, in the fact that your patients have just spent a lot of money out of pocket for Black Friday and all of the holiday expenses and anything else that they have to deal with. And so on January 2nd, a lot of society in the US says, I don't have any money. So healthcare is not a priority for them on January 2nd. But your practice has to persist. And so we wanted to talk about creating that momentum now, taking a few minutes of your time, scheduling it in. Maybe it's a few minutes of the week, taking a few minutes just to schedule a plan on how to start to create that momentum now so that you don't see January 2nd as an emergency. And so what we want to do is we want to share a little bit about
a little story about our personal past and our practice together. First, though, let's share our quote of the week that we'd like to share with you. Let me put this on the screen. So, success is like a snowball. It takes momentum to build, and the more you roll in the right direction, the bigger it gets. And that's by Steve, let's say, Ferrante. Hopefully I'm getting that right. But just like we'll feel at the end of 2020, we have momentum. We want to make sure that, as you can't see on the slide, that there's a hill that continues to go down. It might go up a little bit and then it'll continue to go down again. So we just wanted to give you that. Now we want to share with you, a story that took place in our practice that, we had momentum in our practice. It was a couple of years into our practice, Integrity Sports Medicine back in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. We loved it. Things were going great. We were actually, we were pregnant as a family. My wife was doing the brunt of the load, and there's a whole other situation that goes ahead of that to get pregnant in our family, is we had to go through in vitro fertilization. But I'll let Terri kind of share with you what took place.
Right. So we had momentum, but we were kind of coasting with that momentum. And then our emergency happened. So what happened was that Mother Nature decided that our son, Reese, who is healthy and happy and 16 years old now and fabulous, Mother Nature decided he needed to come early, and he had to come 9 weeks early. And what that entailed was that Mama, me, and a baby in tow had to be air flighted. And we were air flighted about 2 hours away to the nearest facility where we could safely deliver Reese.
But real quick, sorry to cut you off. It was actually the second time she was life flighted. The week before, she was taken from a place called Minocqua to Marshfield because they had, the place for the neonatal intensive care unit. So it was actually the second time in less than 10 days, essentially, where she was taken, and talk about some emotional roller coasters that we were going through. So I'll let you continue.
Yeah, it truly was some emergent situations. So It was a pregnancy complication that wasn't predictable. So bottom line, that's what it was. So air flighted, safely taken to the closest neonatal facility. Reese was delivered. Everything was fine. However, we need to pour a little salt into that unexpected wound. And that salt was that we actually had an office manager. We only had one. Our clinic wasn't really big at that moment. And that office manager actually resigned on Monday, and the air flighting happened on a Wednesday. Well, on Monday, our office manager gave 2 weeks notice, and she left for lunch and she never came back. And so we had that business situation on top of me being the solo PT to see the physical therapy side of business. Now, we did have an amazing athletic trainer named Megan, and so she was there to take care of the PT patients. She just couldn't do the initial evals. And we had planned ahead. We were good, practice owners. We had planned ahead for the time when I was supposed to deliver so that we did have coverage so that I had a bit of a maternity leave. However, that was 9 weeks away. So here we are 2 hours away, a new baby in NICU, no office manager to run our practice while both of us had to be away for a bit. And we didn't have coverage, PT coverage, because the person that we had asked to cover 9 weeks from now was busy in a different coverage situation when we needed her. So she wasn't going to be able to cover in that emergent time. Reese and myself ended up having to be at NICU, which was, again, 2 hours away from where our practice was, for about 6 weeks. So there were a lot of balls in the air. So we had to do some posting for an office manager position from afar. I was doing reviews of resumes and actually conducting interviews of our potential office manager from the hospital, from where the NICU was, 2 hours away, trying to get a new office manager so that Derek and Megan could keep the practice afloat. And 10 days after I delivered with an emergency C-section, I actually returned home for about 18 hours so that I could go to work and see our 5 evals that I needed to get in that day so that Megan could continue to keep up with the clinic and our patient care. And then I turned around and I went back down and drove back to where Reese was at the NICU. And that persisted for about 6 weeks until Reese was able to come home. I would come home for a day of the week and I would do all of the evals that needed to be done and any note co-signing and reviewing billing and the normal gig with what you need to do. But that was because I was the solo PT. And then we had just a little bit more stress added in there, and the fact that we had daycare lined up for Reese when he was able to come home, but we were informed when he was born prematurely that he would have to basically be quarantined for the first 12 months of his life to protect him just because of his preemie status. So the daycare that we had lined up wasn't going to be an option for us. And so we were, in addition to looking for an office manager, we were looking for a nanny to be able to come into our home to take care of our son while we both worked.
We'll share some stories about us attempting to get some nannies at that point in time where we lived.
In a future video, yes.
It turned out we ended up getting a wonderful nanny that, has actually kept in touch with us since that point in time. And she's kept in touch with Reese, and he made a great impact on her in her life. And something that's really important about this is we've talked about gratitude and thankfulness. At that point in time, our patients helped us through this. Our family, of course, helped us through this, and our staff helped us through this. So, it was a very difficult time in our life, mentally, physically for my wife, and emotionally for both of us, dealing with the stressors of Reese, which, as 9 weeks later, he ended up leaving 6 weeks later, they ended up leaving as he hit his 5-pound weight. He was born at 3 pounds, 5 ounces. So it was a big stress to all of us at that point in time, but we're very thankful who was around us as our core group of people.
Absolutely. So that was our emergency, right? And how our personal life affected dramatically how our business was running. And even though we had some momentum, and even though we were kind of coasting because we thought we had good momentum, we weren't prepared. What we want to share and bring this around, because this is supposed to be about you and how to help you create momentum for your business, for your practice, is that no matter how much you think everything is going okay, if you can step back and recognize that you're coasting and that you don't have that momentum set up so that if an emergency situation arises, you're prepared for it, then that's something that you need to schedule some time and you need to work on, even in the midst of this holiday season, because what we don't want for our clients or any private practice healthcare business owner out there is to feel like January 2nd, 2021 is an emergency so that your practice can stay afloat. So if that takes a little bit of planning now to create that momentum and get that snowball rolling, then that's what we want to encourage you to do. So we have a couple of little ideas that we want to throw out there. I mean, very simple things to help you start to stew what some of those momentum generators could be for you.
Yeah, there's a multitude which we're hoping you are already doing on your own. But what can you do for, if you're a chiropractor or a physical therapist? What can you do for a screening, for instance, in your community? Have you reached out to your local YMCA? Everybody is looking to start 2021 off with a good point. Why not be there to help them from a physical standpoint reach their dreams and goals from a physical standpoint? So reaching out to the YMCA or a local gym or a box, if you like to work with CrossFit athletes.
And being able to reach out to those gyms now, if that's an avenue you choose, and having a little card presenting, maybe you already do free screenings, and a lot of our private practice owners already do that. But take those cards and take a few minutes to do the marketing, because setting it up in December is going to allow you to have those patients on the books come January, even if it's just an appointment for a free screening, because then you can work on doing a sell and showing the patient how much they can benefit from your services once they're in the door in January. But waiting until January to try to bring them in is a lot bigger battle. It's a lot more trying to roll that snowball up the hill than letting some momentum carry it down for you.
Yeah. And the easiest thing from a perspective in which we've worked with some clients lately is doing a patient reactivation campaign. We have our system that we use, our platform called our Grow platform. And, we get a list of your patients that haven't been in the last 3, 6, 9 months. We reach out to them with emails, text messages, and what's called a voice drop. It's a gentle way to tap them on the shoulder and say, if you haven't been in for a while, now's the time. And you can offer a beginning of the year discount if you wish. We don't always like to tell people to discount your services because you went to school for a long time, got a lot of bills, and you've got a lot of overhead to cover. But to get those people back in the office, if you can get them in for 1, 3, 5 visits, it'll help break through January and February of 2021. So those are just a couple of quick ideas that we thought of.
Right, exactly. So as always, we ask that you join our Facebook group. There's a link here that you can do that. Join the Facebook group. It's nothing. It's just a very casual situation where if you join, it's a place to provide support from other private practice healthcare business owners. It isn't just a place for us to share more content with you. We want everyone to help each other. So you will get content from us on our Facebook page, but we also want you to know it's a safe community so that we can help each other. So definitely feel that you can join in, hop in, and join us there. That would be great.
And again, if you are a private practice healthcare business owner that is looking for ways to scale your practice, looking for ways to build and grow, looking for ways to gain momentum, if you don't have a monthly calendar of what you're doing from a marketing perspective, why not reach out to us, send us a message, click on one of the buttons on the pages that are around here, and just set up a call with us. It's a discovery call, no charge to it, 15, 20 minutes. We get on, see what's working for you, what isn't, and maybe we have some ideas that can help you along the way. So thanks again for taking the time here. We hope that your December is going to be fantastic as you finish 2020. And we really want you to help build momentum in your personal life and in your business life, especially going into 2021, because we all know we need a little bit of a break.
Thanks for joining us.